excited about this podcast. What my brother is doing is making sure that we're not just capturing it for the right now, we're editing it, we're slicing and dicing it, and we're putting it out on multiple platforms. So, coming into the new year, we're going to see Business Wisdom Wednesdays full of interviews with people like yourself
Oh, excellent.
and so many others. And so, again, the interview is only one part of the whole experience. We have so many people who are trying to find, yeah, we're going to cut that music down some. Thank you. We have so many people who are trying to find their next. And this is why we're asking real people to come over and just be honest and to say what you do while you do it, but really dive into inspiring others to know that there's something special in them also. And they can because you do, right? So, those of you, you might not know this young lady, but you are widely respected for what you do.
I'm glad. I'm
I
glad.
mean,
Like,
people are
you're gonna
getting
do
on
that.
people are getting in a van,
Yes.
and people are traveling away from their neighborhoods to partake in spirits, alcohol, wine,
Wine.
and then they come back, right?
Yes.
Okay,
They do.
so
Yes.
we're gonna unpack this. But
Yes.
last time I got in somebody's car and went to get a drink, I had to know the person a little much because So I'm gonna get that mic a little bit closer to you because I want everybody to hear her. Let's start with your name, but then I want to unpack that because I want to know how people know you.
So my name is Leslie Freelo,
Mhm.
and I own two companies: Vino 301 Wine Concierge,
Mhm.
and then the Wine Concierge.
Yes,
And people often refer to me as the Wine Lady.
yes. And that wine lady, you've been doing this, sister, for how long?
2013.
Yes. Now, that was an interesting year. And you were in an interesting time, right?
Right.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about why did you start this amazing business that is booming?
So I joke about. Is that good? Bring it to me. I joke about. I started the company because it was my midlife crisis.
Okay.
Actually, I started the company because I wanted to go into wine distribution.
Mm.
I have a background in public policy. I worked in public policy because, this is the nation's capital.
Yes, it is.
And that's what you do. You're
Yes.
a lobbyist or you work with those type of people. And I did not have that background. I was a casual wine drinker. I knew what I liked, but I couldn't go beyond that.
Okay.
So I decided I would intern
Mm-hmm.
at a wine bar after work and do that. I was like, oh, this is a successful internship.
Uh-huh.
So then I met with the executive director at the time of the Maryland Wine Association
Okay.
because I wanted to intern with them. And he's pitching a business idea. And I am like,
I'm listening.
I'm like, this is the wrong interview. I'm here for the internship, not a business idea.
Ah.
And so I left that meeting going, well, I guess I could do that because at the time in Maryland, the vineyards were really small, and they are small now.
Mm-hmm.
And it is not uncommon to find the winemaker in the tasting room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
so if I'm bringing people, I'm bringing you money.
Yes. And how many people are coming? Because you first started small.
I started small.
Yes.
So I would on the weekends because I was still working.
Still working.
Because
Y'all hear this, right?
most entrepreneurs just don't quit or
No,
should not quit.
They should not quit.
They should not quit.
Right. And I'm glad you are hearing that.
Yeah.
And those of you who are going to see this on the podcast, don't quit. Start where you are.
Yes.
That assignment was perfect because you went to interview. That internship, did you get paid for it?
Not at all.
So many times people say, but I can't get paid, I won't do it. But because you was there and doing it, you discovered a blessing that came to you and you wasn't even really listening
Right.
at the time.
And I may not have received currency, but I received experience.
Okay.
And sometimes when you take a chance like that, then the people that you're working for see that you're invested in that process,
Yes.
and they're willing to share with you more.
Oh, okay. So your why moved you to solving a problem for people who wanted to have a wine experience, right?
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
So
Talk to everyone about that because, I mean, you get to make money in drinking.
Right, but I'm not drinking at
Okay,
the
you're
time.
not. Okay.
Because I'm driving.
Okay.
So we started off with a van. I was renting on the weekends, and then we moved into doing multiple tours on weekends. And we had, at our peak, we were doing 4 wine tours on Saturdays, 3 on Sundays, and then this little thing happened called COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But before COVID,
Uh-huh.
what was the typical price point that you were?
So we started off at $75 per person.
Yeah. And a typical van, because I want everybody listening
Mhm.
and here, we do numbers real good. So let's unpack that number.
Right.
75 times how many?
10.
And y'all heard you was doing it how many times on a Saturday and still going to work on Monday?
4 times
Yeah.
on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah.
So now with that, you are doing what you enjoy doing.
Right.
You're making a profit and you're moving forward.
Yes.
COVID happens.
COVID happened, so you had to be 6 feet apart, and
Yes.
you can't be 6 feet apart in a van.
But you pivot. That was a powerful word
Yes.
during COVID, right?
Mhm.
You pivot. So what was that pivot?
So everybody was drinking during COVID. And so I decided, well, what we initially started doing was virtual wine tastings.
Oh,
So we would sit on Zoom and we would teach people about wine.
okay.
And we would bring the wine to them. And I realized people are going to drink without me.
Mm,
They don't need me to tell them how to teach. That's like an extra thing.
okay.
So I started a online wine company in the district, and it is an e-commerce wine store. It's 24/7, and this was all in 2020. So George Floyd was killed in May of 2020,
Yes.
and we were still forming the company. And so at that time, there was a reckoning in so many industries.
Yes. Yeah.
And in wine, surprisingly, there's not a lot of people that look like me or you.
Yep.
And at that time, it was less than 1% of blacks in the wine industry.
Yeah. Yes.
So I just want to give you perspective.
Please do,
Since
because
you're about the numbers.
Yes, please do,
Okay.
because you think about as much as we consume wine, and I've had the pleasure of meeting McBride's sisters and
Mhm.
learning their story
Yes.
and all, but that number has changed. Let's talk about that.
So just to give you perspective,
Mhm.
that was less than 1%. The wine industry on an annual basis internationally makes $365 billion. So that's $1 billion a day in the
Mhm.
industry, and
Mhm.
less than 1% participate in
Yep,
that
by us. Yep.
by us.
Yeah.
And so I decided that our products were going to feature black winemakers.
Okay. Can you name a few?
Sure.
Okay.
So
Y'all, please listen to this, right? Because there are, and the more we go to the stores and we ask by name of these products, those products will appear. Maybe not overnight, but they will come.
yes. So Theophilus, which is by Theodore Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's familiar with Andre Mac's products, which is Maison Noir.
Mm-hmm.
There are local ones, such as Philosophy Wine in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Heaton Estates, which is a Virginia winery.
Is that one out there by Dallas?
No, so let me just explain one bar that we experience in the wine industry.
Okay.
So everyone doesn't own a vineyard.
Okay.
Most people don't have the land for a vineyard.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to purchase the land today, it would take you 5 years to get to market.
Wow.
So that's $1 million, $2 million investment
Mm-hmm.
that most people don't have in their pockets.
Yes.
So what they do is they purchase the grapes or the juice from a producer,
Mm-hmm.
and then they work with another winemaker because they don't have a facility that
Yep.
costs money.
Uh-huh.
And they make the wine and they store it in somebody else's facility. So many of the winemakers, and some that I mentioned, they don't have tasting rooms. And so the way that they are able to sell their wines or at farmers markets, or they try to get into stores,
And people like you.
and people like me.
Yes.
So when we talk about like who are my customers,
Yes.
in addition to direct to consumer, winemakers are my customers.
Got it.
So in January, when people were outraged by Target, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was the golden ring to say, "Oh, I got my wine in Target."
Mm-hmm.
But we weren't supporting Target then.
That's right. We're still not.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Right. I said, my wine store, I ship nationwide.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Do you want to get nationwide exposure? Put your products on our site.
There it is. So again, the light bulb, you listen within first.
Yes.
And then you begin to deliver the solution that you knew your clientele, those customers, needed, right?
Right.
And so for those of us who are here, we can't pull our phones out because we're Hush Harbor, but we're going to remember and we're going to talk to you after this interview. How do we reach you?
So we're on Instagram, we're on
Okay.
Facebook, and it's the Wine Concierge Club. And then our website, where it's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that you can shop in the middle of the night if you want to, is thewineconcierge.co.
Now, if you all don't realize, there's something special when you go out to that venue and you get to sample, but in that process, there's a relationship that happens. Can you talk about that? Because you also are solving a problem because we've forgotten how the common touch feels like.
Exactly.
You make that happen
Yes.
doing these experiences.
Yes. So they're very curated. Everything that we do is curated. And wine is very personal. I say it's like fragrance. Like, you can't just buy a fragrance for someone without knowing them. So we take a lot of time to understand what our customers like, what they don't like. And so when we're making the selection, because it's a full experience, we do all of the work in our wine tours, and we include lunch and everything. So all you have to do is show up and look cute and drink wine for the afternoon.
My brother back there, Marquise, he's like, he does so many events at the Greater Washington Urban League. And those events bring us staff as family, because when you hang out with him, you have fun, you get some food, you get some drinks, right? So how can corporations utilize this experience like you give to the common person who just wants to have that experience?
The same thing. They just reach out to us, tell us how many people that they want to participate in the tour. We make all of the arrangements, and then we go to your establishment, to your home, or wherever your group is meeting, and pick you up there.
You hear that? Let's have a wine experience together, right? Now, I'm going to get back to business, right? Because your business has a future, and you've been able to pivot, and you've been able to discover there's even more. What's next for you?
So we are going to continue to expand our reach with small winemakers, because the beauty of shopping online is, if you shop online but you don't go to Amazon, because that's a poor example, because you'll get it the next day. You have to wait a couple of days. You exercise patience.
Yes.
And so that's the same thing with our consumers. When they're purchasing online, it's not going to show up on your door the next day. It will show up within that week, but it's not the next day. So the difference between using us, you go to your local liquor store, you can just purchase wine there. So we intentionally carry wines that you can't get at your local liquor store.
Yes.
And so that develops a market for these small batch producers who's not able to put their products in every store, in every restaurant, in every hotel, but they have a national footprint.
I have some chefs in the room, and they curate intimate dining experiences. Can you tell me, how does that mix? Because again, what is a better way to pair a plate but with some nice wine? Talk
Right.
to me about that.
So we work a lot with chefs.
Oh,
We
okay.
also work with the home chef, and we consult with them and say, "Hey, okay, what are you serving?"
Uh-huh.
And not just the protein, but how is that prepared? And we help them develop what wines go with those particular dishes. Since the holidays are coming up, we're curating a wine quiz on our website, so you can go to the quiz and say, "Hey, I'm having a fat family gathering. What type of wine should I have? I'm having a office happy hour.
Mhm.
What type of wine?" Because we recognize that it's not the wine, it's the
It's the
experience,
experience.
it's the education.
Yes. Now that mic right there is hot, right? While we have her here, I do want you, anytime right now, if you have a question. I know Mr. Washington, you right there. I know you always are doing large events also too. So we want to hear from you. So there's a question, Chef. That soup was good, isn't it? There's a question. Please, the mic is hot. And while we're waiting for people to come onto the mic, can you tell us, when you think about, when you look back, who have you become because you started this business?
That's an excellent question. I have become someone who is confident in the services that I give and recognizes my own potential and what my value is.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Our businesses, when they are a part of who you are, you're always growing and you're always experiencing something new that makes you also a new person.
Exactly. And so, can I just
Yeah,
say
come
something?
on.
Because
Yeah.
I was sharing with someone today. Pricing is always an issue as a small business person, and trying to figure out what pricing. And when you're starting off, a lot of people will say to you, "I have this great opportunity for you," right? And so if you come and you play or you record or what have you, you have the opportunity to meet all of the people in the room.
Mhm.
And so in the beginning, we were bartering,
Bouncing here,
was
bouncing
it
here.
right,
Yeah,
bartering for
yeah.
services or
Yes,
what
yeah,
have you,
yeah.
but not necessarily making the money to
Mm-hmm.
sustain the business.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I would say to anyone who is starting off, do not use that as your model.
Mm.
Because what happens is then you really don't get an appreciation for what your net worth is.
Got it.
And yes, you want to be in the room with those individuals. And so you can establish those relationships and say, okay, so this is what our worth is. This is my company price. And if you don't feel comfortable saying, well, this is how much I charge, say, this is our company's policy. Because who's going to argue with the company policy, right?
That's right.
And then figure out how you can be in the room, but not
every room is not for
monetizing your
you.
services.
Yeah. And every
That's the
room is
other
not for
thing.
you. Yes.
Not monetizing your services or your prices in the beginning sets the bar of how people perceive you.
Yes. Got it. Raise that bar. Please say your name and then your question, please.
My name is Sherry Gunter, and believe it or not, you just answered 50% of my question. What should a person do to get started in your business?
So I would say, because
Great
our, our,
question.
our business is hospitality, it's also wine expertise, and it's also tourism. So if you are interested in making wine, take a couple of courses, right? Because you may not, wine is a very involved process. Take a couple of courses. I know the state of Maryland, for those who are local, they offer winemaking courses for new winemakers, home winemakers. I'm quite sure Virginia offers that too. So you can see if you really enjoy that before you go out and start negotiating with winemakers to make a wine, and you're like thousands of dollars in debt for something that you really
You were
don't
nice.
like.
She said thousands, hundreds of thousands.
Dollars in
Yes.
debt to do that. If you are interested in the hospitality, a lot of people have confined it to like hotel management or what have you, but it is very extensive. There are what they call CVBs. in this area, you can work with those visitors bureaus or what have you and see what are people asking for. Because if you're having a family reunion or you're having some type of event, they're looking for activities to do. So meet with the local chambers or in a DC, the Experience DC, I forget what they're doing.
Events DC.
Events
Yeah,
DC,
yeah,
and say, hey, I'm interested in offering this service. They will give you feedback because people reach out to them and ask for those particular experiences.
Thank
Wow.
you. That was a great
Great.
response.
The mic is hot. And while we're waiting, my question is collaboration. When you're bringing that many people to the vineyard,
Mhm.
you're getting it and people are seeing it. What are some of the other collaborations that you have done with maybe chefs or other businesses that were fruitful for both of you? And then come to you.
So we one thing that we're doing now, which I never thought we would do, we collaborate with a plant store
Ah,
in DC, and
name?
planter,
Okay.
planter,
Okay.
and they bring in a tarot card reader, and they do a class on how to read tarot cards, and we pour wine.
There it is. We have to figure out how can we collaborate. And in that collaboration, we all wins when we start with that
Exactly.
win-win in mind. Brother Washington.
Yes, hi, Edwin Washington. I work with this guy here, Chef Tate.
I follow him.
You said that you have wines that you can't get in the stores, in any other stores, right?
It's not exclusive, but
Okay.
it's very limited.
Okay.
Because a portion of my winemakers don't have distribution. And so in most of the United States, there's what is known as the 3-tier system, where it starts with the producer, the distributor, and then the retailer. And they don't let you deviate from that. So if you do not have a distributor, you can't get on on the shelf. In DC, thank God for DC, the distributors have first right of refusal. And so if that producer does not have a distributor, then the retailer can purchase directly from those individuals. And so many of the smaller producers can't afford or don't produce enough wine to have a distributor. So I purchase from them directly.
Got it. And so that being the case, in my view, as I see, are you intentionally going after a more exclusive market in terms of how you're marketing your product, your winery? Because that does have, it connotates, a little class, a little style, a little knowledge and the like anyway.
Yeah, so most of the wines that I carry, the consumers who purchase from our wines enjoy wine more than a casual tasting. We have all sorts of wines, and our wines aren't limited to domestic wine producers, and we do carry wines that are not made by minorities. They're not made by women.
It's
But-
E-Winery. It's right. It's E-Winery. That's the name, right?
No,
What's your name? I'm sorry. What's
the wine concierge.
The Wine Concierge, but it's an E-Winery, so it's for everybody.
Yes, it is. Yes, exactly. It is for everyone. So those brands will come to us so we can put them on our site. So we have a large assortment of South African wines. Now, obviously,
I love South African wines.
yeah,
Yes.
that is a hidden secret that
Yes.
people,
Yes.
it should not be a secret.
Hey.
It should not be a secret. Of course, we're going to need a distributor for that because I cannot purchase directly from them. But you don't see a lot of South African
No, you
wines
don't. No.
on the shelf, and they are delicious wines.
And for those people who want to come with us to South Africa, we'll be there this January, at Joburg, and we're doing an intimate small tour. So South Africa is home. Now, what I want you all to understand as we listen, you found the niche, but in that niche, you also found a way to elevate.
Yes.
The Greater Washington Urban League knows that all of us have something unique. And if we can begin to combine our resources together, be it marketing, be it a product, be it a service, we all get through this hard time.
Yes.
My last question for you is, what do you see next as you collaborate and you elevate the businesses and the consumers who have something special at home because they ordered from your platform?
So what I see, and especially during this time period, is that we are going to be rooted in the wines that we represent,
Mhm.
right? We are buckling down in them. We are building community because, again, you can get wine anywhere.
That's right.
Right? You go across the street and
Yeah,
get
we have
wine
wine here.
anywhere. But what we provide is community and education.
Yes.
So what we are going to do, instead of expanding, we are going to go deeper in the education offerings that we're providing, because again, wine is what people enjoy, but they don't always feel comfortable talking about it.
Yes.
And so what we are saying is, come as you are.
Mhm.
Drink whatever you want to drink. If you like sweet wine, if you like dry wine,
Mhm.
if you like, funky wine,
Mhm.
come. But we're going to show you how to pair that with different types of food,
Yes.
how to introduce that to your family at Thanksgiving. That don't bring the most expensive wine, because you're going to be upset when Uncle Joe is there adding ginger ale to it.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
those type
Yeah,
of
yeah.
things.
Chef,
So that's
like, he got okra like that too, right? Sister, I am so thankful that you chose Business Wisdom Wednesday. Please, can y'all give her a hand, please? And we want to continue to promote your business, so that the flyers and all. But what we're going to do with this podcast, Inspire understands there's a digital way to reach our ideal client. And we have to reach our clients on multiple platforms. And we got to reach them when they are listening, because we have the products. You all have the products of our consumers. And we have to let them know they don't have to go elsewhere to get the answers to what they really need. We have to listen to each other, and we have to serve on purpose. Thank you so much. Can I
Thank
get a
you.
hug?
Yes, thank you.
All right, we're going to turn the music back on for a moment. I do want you to get her card. I have my